Hi, you might have to just deal with the bad voice. Um, I posted about Dragon Con last week or this past weekend, and then I worked the whole thing. I run disability services. Um, I also have asthma. I have crappy lungs. Kicked me, it kicked me down a tad. I'm in the process of doing a bunch of breathing treatments, trying to get my lungs back in shape and trying to get my voice back, which is part of why I haven't done the video before. I was hoping enough of my voice would be back beforehand, but I don't want to start the next week without the video. So I'm doing it. Um, there you go. Okay, so I don't have a huge amount to cover right now because I don't think this is going to last. I'm planning on making a video about proper citations because I think it's warranted. I've noticed I hesitate to say no one, but I don't remember seeing anyone do it properly yet. So it is something that I'm going to have to cover. I want to do a quick update about grades. I am 100% caught up. I did finished them all up today. So when you see this video, if you're one of the few who watches it, you'll see that your grades are right there. A lot of people are losing a lot of points on their discussions for very basic things. Like one, your first post is due before 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday night. Some people are doing it after 10 p.m. Wednesday. A lot of people are attempting to do it on the very last day. That kills your grade. So if you don't like your grade for your discussion, or if you did not get a perfect score, make sure to look at the reasoning. I've filled out the rubric and I provide feedback. One of the other things I noticed is a lot of people are not fully answering the discussion. Take your time. Look, it's not just to answer this question. It is, here are the topics, answer these. Then this past week, I required you to bring up 2 examples current in the news. It literally says current news examples or current examples in the news, but the word current and news are there. A lot of people are doing a quick little Google search and then providing me with websites. That's not the same thing. If you remember the very first week, I asked you about news sources and I warned you we're going to start delving into it. This is the beginning. You have to know how to find current news. You also do not just provide a link to the news article. You have to tell me about it. You have to tell me, why is this example what you chose? Is that a positive example or a negative example of what you're talking about? I left it open so you could either say, hey, these people are doing a good job, or this really sucks. Entirely up to you. The last part of it is also you have to provide your own thoughts. This always seems to be the hardest thing for most of my classes, but I don't want to know what the textbook says. I want to know what you think about it. The first part of the discussion has to do with your textbook. The second part tends to be making you look outside and find more information. The last part is always your personal take, because nothing matters if you don't know what you actually think about something. It's just going through the ropes and nothing's ever going to get better. And I can't accept that. So make sure you're actually looking at your own thoughts, include it. Read the discussion very carefully. I think I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so we can look at the next discussion. So the one that we're about to do. Okay. I clicked on it, but then I hit the wrong button. There we go. So you should be seeing this. This is in my view, not the student's view, because the discussion isn't going to open yet. So discussion 4. This is our next one. This one's going to take a little bit of thought. I want you to figure out your political ideology and where you got it from. So first, you're going to have to make sure you understand what a political ideology is. Then think about where you got it from. So here we go. I put right here, I want you to identify and discuss the frames of reference that you and the average American rely upon when forming your or their political opinions, and discuss the major characteristics of the political socialization process through which Americans acquire their political opinions. Notice I put a little arrow and I said this goes with the textbook. So this is the textbook part. Then basically help me and the class better understand why you think or believe what you do. This is the personal aspect. I am not saying that you say, I am a diehard Republican because my grandpappy was a diehard Republican, so I'm a diehard Republican. If you want to say that, that's fine. But I'm not looking for what name you put on yourself. You 100% can say, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm a Libertarian, I'm independent. You can say any of those, that's fine. But I want to know what you actually stand for, not the name. What do you think your political beliefs are? Your political beliefs are not Republican or Democrat. Your political beliefs are more along the lines of, I think, I don't know, I'll bring from a current news thing and I'm going to close the sharing thing. This past Wednesday, Georgia had the deadliest school shooting in history. One of your political things can be whether or not anything should be done about this. You know, should there be more rules about gun ownership? Or do you think, yeah, well, you know, you're sending your kids to school, school better take care of it. And then you expect the teachers to jump in front of a bullet while making less than most other jobs on the planet, you know? Your political ideology are all those little parts, what you think is important. Do you think money is the most important? Do you think humans are more important? Do you think corporations should be protected from throwing money in the pot to help get the US out of debt? Or do you think that the people who make, shall we say, 35,000 a year should be paying 30% of their income to help try to bring the US out of debt? You know, these kinds of things. I want you to actually take a good, solid look at your belief system, where you got them from. And quite frankly, most people do get it. I made a joke a moment ago, well, not really a joke, but from my grandpappy kind of thing. Most people do get a lot of their stuff from their parents, but you also get it from, if you go to church, from your churches, you get it from your social groups, you get it from your friends, you get it from TV, you get it from social media. And a lot of people just follow along without ever putting one bit of thought into it. I want you to put thought into it, because you might find out that once you personalize it, instead of looking at what other people have said, you look at your own views. You might be surprised that you might switch to a different one. I'll tell you honestly, that's what happened to me. I thought I was one way because of how I was raised, until I started looking at what everything stood for, and then realized that does not match what I actually believe. And that was kind of an interesting day. I'm rather proud that I finally looked at my own self instead of just blindly following along. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get you to do. I am not telling you which way you're supposed to go. Not my job. My job is to make sure that you understand what the different things mean, so you can actually represent what you feel needs to be represented, not just blindly follow. There are no sources required this time, because it is your thoughts, your personal things. Can you or should you cite the textbook or something to make sure you're defining political ideologies properly? Yeah. If you're going to define it, yeah, you kind of have to. But if you just simply talk about my political ideologies are blah, 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 that's coming from you. I don't need a source for that. So this one's actually an easier one, but you need to actually think about it. Then, of course, when you're commenting to people, ask questions, you know? Don't just say, oh, yes, I agree. That is a pet peeve of mine. That's why if you notice on the rubric, you lose a lot of points just for doing the I agree crap. You can say that you agree with where somebody stands and then give a reason. You have to do more than just I agree. And be polite. We're getting into more personal territory here, and it's because I'm trying to build you up for you to know your own mind before we get to the midterm project. And I had planned on making that video too. When my voice comes back, I will be making the citation sources type video, and I should say references, and the midterm assignment video. But I think I need a better voice to do that. So feel free to ask me questions, but just know this course, you have to know your own mind. You have to speak your own mind. You have to back up your own mind. You can't just say because so, because I say so. That doesn't work. So this one, this discussion really is to help you start thinking about yourself and what you truly stand for. And yeah, we're going to totally build off this later. I guess that's it. Sorry, I haven't done the weekly the weekly videos yet. I'm trying. So I guess that's it. Peace out.